Good morning. Wow, it's really great that you made it here in spite of the weather. Although maybe it's not pouring, it looks like it is, but maybe it's not. So, welcome to Neighborhood. I am the director of the Young People's Program here. And the Young People's Program is on pause for the summer, but it will resume at the beginning of September. So, I have your life of the community. Our first announcement, please refrain from using scented products or bringing nuts into neighborhood or any neighborhood events. And for information, you can contact the Accessibility Committee. Yes, and you see people are raising their hands here, so yeah. Our Human Resources Committee needs someone with HR or management experience to be its new chair. Tasks for this fall include performance and salary reviews for our staff in consultation with Rev, Sally, and the board. For more info or to volunteer, another member, email Tony right here. Your sharing commitment renews on August 1st as Rev Sally begins her first time ministry, and Lillian starts as our new fundraising coordinator. Yay. Please deposit your pledge into our red chest just over yonder near the name tags to support the promising year ahead. Coming soon, art as a spiritual practice. Christina, where's Christina? Christina, there you are. Christina is doing monthly workshops, and there's no experience necessary. You can deepen your spiritual practice by engaging in meditative, artistic activities. And there's a sign-up sheet for either Wednesday or Thursday evenings in the Cappuccino Room. So this is your last chance today to see Jacked here in Rafos Hall at 7:30. And I went a couple of nights ago and I found it, and I see some people who I saw there as well, and I found it very witty and entertaining and clever. And I would highly recommend it. So if you can, come on and check it out. Yes. And you can check out the screen in our Cappuccino Room and your Friday weekly email for more announcements and information about ongoing opportunities to connect at Neighborhood. And there is no service next Sunday. It's every other Sunday. So our next service, which will be on July 27th, Love at the Center. We continue with that. Our message is Sing Out Love. Our speakers are members of the Spirit Choir, music by Spirit Choir, yay. Our service weaver will be Tab and Tab, and I'm going to be doing Time for All Ages. Thank you.
Welcome to our Sunday service of Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Congregation in beautiful Treaty 13 territory. Thank you for joining us, whether you are here in person, if you are out there in Zoom land, or you are watching this from the future on YouTube. I begin in gratitude that we gather this morning on the treaty lands and the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, specifically Treaty 13. This is also the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat and Haudenosaunee peoples, and has been and is home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. May recognizing truth and working in a spirit of reconciliation with our treaty neighbors be part of our work to care for our world. I am Moira MacDonald. I'm a member here, and I will be your service weaver this morning. Let us start the morning by sanctifying the space together with our presence, with our attention, and with our intention. If you have electronic devices that divert your attention or may divert the attention of other people, please would you silence or turn them off now unless you really need them to participate in the service. Feel your feet on the ground, the breath in your lungs, the fire in your heart, and the presence of others who are doing the same. Be here now, to quote the late spiritual teacher Ram Dass. We have an invocation, the words and intentions with which we begin every service here. Can we speak them together now? Let us cast the circle of a sacred space here. Let us cast the circle of a cherished space here. A space of safety, a place of forgiveness, a place of love. If we want the world to change, we must craft in our space and in ourselves the seeds that grow a different kind of life. A life of creativeness, of creative intelligence, a place of life and spirit for ourselves and our families. And I invite Helen Armstrong up to light our chalice. Helen, we're going to light the chalice by taking the flame from the children's flame. So you just grab a candle there. And this is to remind ourselves to keep the children's fire alive in our hearts, and that children and those who work with them are essential members of this community, even when they are not seen. Because sometimes they're not, sometimes they don't come, sometimes they're in the back, but they're still here. We light this chalice to remember, to light the fire within our own hearts. And our centering music this morning will be played by Sheldon Rose, who is our guest musician. Absolutely lovely, thank you. And you had accompaniment yourself with the rain, I think. Thank you, Sheldon. And thank you also for filling in for Suzanne Mazars, who is our music director, and she's away on a well-deserved vacation. Our minister, Reverend Sally Fritchie, however, is here with us this morning. So if you don't know Sally, she's right over there. I'd also like to thank the many staff and the volunteers who have created this service, including Gwen Schauerte, who is a member here and will be delivering our message this morning. For those who are unfamiliar with our space, we have information about the different areas of our sanctuary out in the room behind that glass wall. That's what we call our Cappuccino Lounge. Our mission at Neighborhood is to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of our world. We also strive to practice the 8 principles of Unitarian Universalism, and those are listed in the hallway immediately outside our Jackman entrance door. All year long here at Neighborhood, we have talked about a UU theology, that is a spiritual belief or concept that puts love at the center. It sounds wonderful. It is wonderful. It's been great. But many of us have experienced the challenge, I speak of myself, of getting charged up and filled up with spiritual inspiration and aspiration while we're here, only to have it fall flat by supper time when somebody's grumpy or something goes wrong and we realize we're still human, so are all the beloveds around us with all of our foibles. We take those with us. Some of us have even experienced this being in a spiritual community. We want to be loving beings, and putting love at the core of our lives would be really great, but stuff gets in the way, even here. In the words of Unitarian Universalist minister Reverend Dr. Jan Carlson Bull, like an old tree love is knotted and gnarled, like an old tree fighting with the wind, like branches too brittle for their own good, like roots that relentlessly inform how deeply we can trust and how freely we can forgive. In her message this morning, Gwen is going to get us thinking about what gets in the way of love and maybe have us try out some practices that can help us be more of the loving people we wish to be. But to get us started this morning, we have Greet Your Neighbor. So I don't have to teach you how to do that. All you have to do is to do it. After you have greeted a few neighbors here in the sanctuary, I invite you to turn to the camera that's up there between all those strips of beautiful cloth and wave at the people who are joining us by Zoom or who are in the future recording. And Julia will sound the chime to end. So have at it. Greet your neighbors. Our first congregational song will be Just As Long As I Have Breath. Sheldon will play. I can lead a little bit. We'll have our lyrics projected on the screens. And if you're willing, able, interested, please rise and put your bodies into the song too.
With hope I meet each day.
That woke me up. Well, the story I have for you is called Taco Falls Apart. And, it's no wonder, because when you think of it, so much is expected of the taco, right? Oh my goodness. But we will find out what happens to this particular taco, and as he tries to hold it all together and be loving to everybody around him. I will begin. Taco Falls Apart by Brenda S. Miles, illustrated by Monica Filipina. Meet Taco. Everyone expects so much from him. He must stand tall, he must be open, he must stay strong. But one day, Taco hits his breaking point. The world wants too much from me, he cries. Taco cracks, tips over, and falls apart. Oh no! What's wrong? What's happening? The vegetables gather around. I think I'm terrible at being a taco. I feel terrible. Everything I do is terrible. I can't even stand up or keep it together. I am done. This is awful, said the avocado. The beans gasp. The onions form a ring and start crying. That's loopy, says the lettuce. I feel dizzy, says Taco. Shake things up, Taco, says the salt. Yippee! But how, asks Taco. Think about what makes you terrific, says Nacho, and you'll feel better. We think about being crisp instead of wilty, says the lettuce. I'm sour, says sour cream, but I add a terrific flavor. We make farts, say the beans. But we are good for the heart. Your turn, Taco, said the cheese. Turn terrible to terrific. You said it yourself, says Nacho. You think you are terrible, so you feel terrible. And that's not even true. I'll never figure out this thinking stuff. You figured out the hard stuff before. Think about what you can do and try again. Taco sighs. Why bother? I'm just going to fall apart again tomorrow. Are you really a fortune teller or a taco? Do you really know what's going to happen? Do you have a crystal ball? Can you see our future? Helpful thoughts, please. Taco thinks for a long time. Well, I think there are days when I stand tall and hold us all together, says Taco. And thinking about what I can do makes me feel kind of terrific. So now I want to do this. Taco stands up. Come on, everybody, let's pull it all together. Group hug. Hooray. Aww. They all love him even when he's falling apart. Now Taco thinks a lot about his thoughts. Some days he falls apart. Some days his shell cracks. But when Taco thinks about what he can do, he feels strong. He stands tall. And life around him seems super terrific. The end. I wonder if Taco from this experience is going to maybe think about putting up a few boundaries so he doesn't have to carry everything. I'm never going to look at tacos the same way. I'm not going to overload them. I'll be gentle with them. Thank you.
Good morning. Morning. Thanks to those of you sitting near the front. I appreciate that. It's an honor and a privilege to be invited to speak here today. I'd like to start with a question for you all. You thought I was going to do all the work. So Moira is going to come around with the mic. I'm going to ask a question of you, and I ask you to respond very succinctly, a couple of words, a short phrase, and we'll be able to hear from a few people. So the question is, for you, what gets in the way of love? For you, what gets in the way of love?
Doubt. Oh, okay. Doubt, especially in myself.
People's lack of faith and trust in me.
Fear and past hurt.
Not feeling safe.
Distance, when the people I love are really far away.
Fear of judgment.
Not being seen and heard.
Perfectionism.
Forgetting that my love matters.
Laziness.
Fear of failure.
Balancing time for myself and for other people.
Fear of not doing it right.
Thank you. Do we have one more? Did you want to?
Social media.
Social media. Thank you. A lot of rich answers. I'll try to address as I'm able. Since you've answered the question that was the theme for the talk today, I think I can go home now. We each have our experiences of difficulties with being more loving. We can be grouchy, tired, overwhelmed with life tasks, and we are not always at our best. Or we genuinely disagree with others, and emotions can run high. There can be many such dynamics. In my work as a psychotherapist, I often talk with people about relationships. I see that the issues we humans face in relation to each other can be common and deeply difficult. These experiences can get us down, and we might even feel despair or anger or a host of other emotions. What's getting in the way of love? As we heard in your called out answers, there is a great variety and similarity to what gets in the way. So we might have a specific understanding of what gets in the way for us, but what can we do about it? I'd like to share some perspectives that have been lanterns in the fog, to use the metaphor, or signposts along the way for me. Some of these ideas might be familiar to you, and for some, they might be new, and that's okay. This isn't psychotherapeutic advice, but more my personal reflections intended for our UU congregation. I will say that when difficulties with mental or emotional well-being are significant, talk to your health practitioner or a qualified counselor. How do we know what love is? The writer Scott Peck defines love as an act, a behavior more than a feeling. He says, love is the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. It is an act of will, namely both an intention and an action. Will also implies choice. We do not have to love, we choose to love. I have come to see relationships as a spiritual path, that whenever there is conflict, misunderstandings, or difficulties, these are moments for us to grow spiritually and psychologically. In my 30s, I lived with others in an intentional community. We worked on whatever issues came up through daily living, whether it was the dishes, or somebody's mess, or somebody not feeling heard, any vulnerability that somebody might be feeling. We met regularly to hash out these issues and process our emotions. It was a very challenging and difficult time at times, but I grew enormously, and I formed bonds with these people through all the work that we did together that I still feel today. Our work we had as an intention to keep love at the center. One such lantern that we worked with, and that some of you may well know of, and that's the idea that our perceptions of others and ourselves can contribute to the conflict. Therapists call this projection. We humans unconsciously make up stories often about who a person is or what their intentions are. And we can do that in relation to ourselves as well. We see another, but our stories are not always fact. Take road rage. We see another driver doing something we don't like, and we decide they are an idiot or deliberately cutting us off. That story is a perception based on limited information. But what if we change our story about them? What if we say, maybe they are just coming back from the hospital where they said goodbye to their spouse or a child who has died? Then the driving takes on different meaning. We can try to be aware of these stories that we make up about others, and if possible, try to reframe or create an equally plausible story about them. It takes work to process difference and to reframe others' behaviors that gives them more humanity. What narratives do you hold about others? Can you work to dismantle these even a little and just be with others as they are? This takes effort, and it's not always easy. The same applies to our perceptions of ourselves. Julia's story of taco today illustrates the point that when we change our thoughts about ourselves, we change our experience in life. As the story goes, Doing the work to process negative thinking can shift one's state of mind and mood. It's a change from negative thinking to realistic thinking. Another lantern that's stayed with me over the years is the concept of spiritual bypassing. This has been defined as using spiritual ideas and practices to sidestep personal, emotional, unfinished business, to shore up a shaky sense of self, or to belittle basic needs, feelings, or developmental tasks. We do spiritual bypassing to avoid being real, being grounded, or having a clearer sense of ourselves. It's often used to avoid conflict. For example, we might refuse to speak up about someone's destructive behavior and justify that by saying they can't help it. I knew someone who lived in a community house of followers of a well-known meditation teacher, unrelated to my own community. The friend told me the way they dealt with conflict in the house was to not talk about it and to reaffirm the meditation teachings on peace. This did not feel real to me. I imagined they were repressing impulses to speak up and to address their differing opinions. Related to the spiritual bypass is avoidance. When we feel we are walking on eggshells, we are silencing our truth in an effort to keep the peace. Gaining peace in our context, in our environment, gets us inner turmoil, which can affect our sense of well-being. The task of dealing directly with issues can take great willingness, effort, and courage on our part. The one caveat is the necessary to maintain safety. That would be a different situation and a different response. Another guiding practice that I continue to learn from is cultivating my own wellness, creativity, and joy. Airlines tell us to put on our own oxygen mask first before we take care of others. We need to ensure that we're mindful of our own needs for rest, nutrition, connection, and creativity. This allows us to maintain a state of positive self-regard, upliftment, well-being, so that we can be more available and present with others. Brené Brown says, "We can't practice compassion with other people if we can't treat ourselves kindly." When I was writing this message in the last week, I had a period of feeling stuck. I didn't have the sense of a structure, the words, the meaning, my heart. None of it was coming together. I got up and I put on music and I moved. It took a couple of songs, but then I started to feel better, and I kind of forgot about the problem and got into the moment. After a while, I was amazed to see that I had ideas coming forth, a sense of how it could be organized, even wording of whole sentences. Finding joy lifts our mood and allows us to see things differently. When I don't meditate and I have stress, my sense of calm and well-being get eroded. The path of putting love at the center is the path of coming from the heart. It's the choice to address those things that get in the way. This becomes a spiritual act, to seek ways to deal with misunderstandings and clear up conflicts, to treat ourselves with kindness, to grow our own sense of calm, well-being, and joy. As the song goes, tell them I said yes to life, to truth, and to love. We aim to choose the behaviors that embody that intention of love, as Scott Peck suggests. This can look like changing our narratives about ourselves and each other, facing spiritual bypassing, and overcoming a tendency to avoid. It can also mean cultivating wellness, creativity, and joy among many other approaches. So that I have a task for you. So when you hear the song lyrics, I see friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" They're really saying, we can think of this scene as neighbors like us at Neighborhood, being on a path with love at the center. This moves me. When I was working on this message, I got out the deck of love cards that UU member Chris Emanuel has created. I thought about what I needed to focus on for this message. And the card that I pulled was Neighbor Love. Thank you, Chris. I see Neighborhood UU as a community of practice where we feel safe enough to learn, to take chances, to develop, and grow on a path of love. We can lovingly support each other to grow more present, courageous, and willing to choose love. Now, to bring it home in a concrete way, I'd like to bring here a mindfulness practice. So I invite you to sit as you would if you were doing either mindfulness, prayer, focus, meditation. I invite you to bring your attention inwardly. Eyes can be closed or a soft downward gaze. Observe your breath. This practice is called metta. The words are like a wish for yourself. It is a way to be on a path of cultivating open-heartedness for others. So please take a few deep inhalations and slow exhalations. When you feel settled enough, say these following words to yourself silently and mindfully. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I know kindness. May I know peace. May I know compassion. May I know joy. And now think of someone with whom you have had difficulties. Perhaps a disagreement or reactivity. Someone with whom you're not feeling fully open-hearted. If this practice is new to you, I suggest you choose someone with whom the level of conflict is low or medium, not the biggest hot button kind of relationship in your life. With practice, an ease can develop. Call that person to mind. Imagine seeing them. Say it silently, as though you are making a wish for them. May they be healthy. May they be happy. May they know kindness. May they know peace. May they know compassion. May they know joy. Now notice the experience of this practice. It's okay to not feel anything different. It's also okay to have felt an effect. When you feel ready, open your eyes and we'll continue together.
Thank you so much for that, Gwen. That took me to a really nice place. So maybe we'll try to stay in that place just a little longer with our next song, and that is Comfort Me. We've sung this before together, and the members of the Spirit Choir know it very well. So again, if you would like to rise to sing, please do. If it's better to stay in your seat, do that. Comfort me. Thanks, everyone. So it is now time for our offering. There are many ways to do this. Many of us, we contribute via regular e-transfers or pre-authorized withdrawals. Some of us contribute via offerings in the baskets, which are about to be passed. However you contribute, we thank you. And if you are doing so in the basket, please mark your name on your envelope, because what that does is we know who to attribute it to for tax receipt purposes, and if you have made an annual pledge, then we can put that down. Your financial contribution is a necessary part of how we support our community that covers salaries, benefits, and program costs. And as the baskets continue to be passed, Sheldon will play. The greeters can bring the baskets forward when you're done. Thank you. If you have found love and acceptance here, if you have found home here, if you have known kindred spirits here, let this offering be a token of gratitude for our common life to build the common good. And we have a closing song, which you already got a little hint of earlier in Gwen's talk, What a Wonderful World. So again, stand as you are able and join us in song for a familiar tune. I can't sing it the way Louis sang it, but I would like to invite, is Helen still here? No, Helen has left. All right, okay, Sally. I invite Sally to extinguish our chalice, and we'll sing our chalice extinguishing song. And I know the morning is rather close heat-wise, but I invite you, if you wish, to physically connect with your neighbor in some way, or not, as you are willing. And I invite Gwen up to give us our closing blessing.
May we know love, peace, joy, compassion together. May we let go of anything in us that gets in the way. May our hearts be filled with a sense of our own worth. May we grow in the willingness to address and work together on whatever gets in the way of love at the center in our UU community.
Let it be so. Peace to all. And the service is over.